Hello everyone and welcome to Kdh Art Class. We are going to be continuing to understand how line is used in art. Today we're going to start focusing on how it shows movement. So I have already shown some videos on how it's showing movement coming out, as well as kind of that movement. It's three-dimensional. And this is all starting with just basic lines. So as you can tell, we're going to make these wormy, bulging, bubbly things across our paper. In order to do that, you need either your journal or a piece of paper. You're going to need something to write with. I recommend a pencil in the beginning. I'm going to go straight to the marker. And then you're going to need different values of colors. Value means dark and light. I'm going to create dark and light with marker and pencil. If all you have are crayons or colored pencils, then grab red and pink are different values of red. So grab a red or a darker red and grab a pink and you will create that value. Otherwise, grab a dark orange and a light orange, a dark green and a light green, a dark blue and a light blue. Different values, dark and light. This one I'm going to be focusing on using some complementary colors, unlike what I did here, where I kind of mix-mashed it together. I was just playing around and having fun, and then I thought about it and said, we can take this even in that direction as well. So in this, we're covering line, value, color, and then you start having pattern repeating itself. Emphasis, areas are being emphasized in here. The movement, hello, it looks like it's coming and going as it's going along. All these things just in this one, and I call it a practice artwork. Although wouldn't this make a great painting on the wall? I digress. Let's continue. We need paper. We need something to write with. And we need dark and lights of colors. Again, I'm focusing on complementary. Complementary means they're opposite on the color wheel. But we'll get into that as we start going along more with this lesson. Okay, I actually have two pieces of paper. One, I'm going to show you how you can do it with just a pencil. The other one is what you saw the example of, and that is using color. The colors is going to be the easier one with this lesson. Sorry, I need to sharpen my pencil. It got used up in my last lesson. All right, let's get going. Using your pencil, I'm going to use the marker. It does not matter which way you do your paper. I'm using the marker so that you can see it better on the camera. Okay. And it's pretty simple. You're going to do kind of like these S shapes, a nice wavy line down your paper. So it's going to go out a little bit, it's going to come in a little bit, it's going to go out a little bit, in a little bit, okay? A nice wavy line. Now I'm going to do the opposite of that. So I'm going to start close and then get further away. Opposite. Close, further away, close. Right. So there's one wormy little guy. And then I'm going to do the opposites again. I'm going to start further away and then get close. And you can touch or not. Further away, close. Further away, close. You see, and I'm not too particular on it looking exactly symmetrical. I kind of like the challenge of it otherwise. All right, opposite. We're going to start close, go further away, close, further away, close, further away, and just kind of keep up that little pattern. Further away, close, further away, close, further, oop, I fell off. That looks pretty good. And this side, I'm probably going to need to do the same. Bring it in a little bit closer. Let it fall off. Let it come in a little closer. And let it fall off. So I kind of finished up going all the way across. Do you need to have the exact number? No. You can have more, you can have less. Okay. Again, it would look cool even if there was just half as many of these. All right, the next thing is we're going to start here, and I'm going to zoom in. So you can see better. We're going to start in with the skinny spot. The skinny spot. Well, I take it back. We're going to start with the big area. And the big area, in the middle, a little above it, I'm going to kind of rainbow up. It's a soft rainbow. It's not a big archy one. And then smiley face under it. Okay, that's in the middle. Now, here's my rainbow. I'm going to do a bunch more rainbow bands till I fall off the page. Now, I want them kind of bigger or further away from each other, whichever way you want to look at, when they're towards the middle of this bumpy thing. As I go along, they're going to get a little bit closer together, and a little bit closer, and a little bit closer, and a little bit closer. All right. Same on my smiley faces. So everything on this half of that is a rainbow. On this half is going to be this smiley face curve. Again, a little further away. Start getting a little bit closer. A little bit closer. A little bit closer. 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 And stop. I'm in the middle of that, so I'm going to stop there. Again, I'm going to start in the middle of the big open area. In the middle, it's going to rainbow up, and it's going to smiley face down. Looks almost like an eyeball, doesn't it? All right, the rainbows, it's going to be further away, a little bit closer, and a little bit closer, a little bit closer, closer, closer. Okay. Till we get them almost, touching each other there. Same thing here, a little further away. Bring them in a little bit closer as these get closer. And then I'm going to switch because we would have rainbows coming up to meet them. So now I'm going to do rainbows on this last little bit. Yours might be different. Okay. So in the big areas, again, we're going to focus on making it big. These skinny areas, they're going to be closer together. So I'm going to skip these on the sides, and I'm going to just focus on these. And rainbow and smiley face. Kind of big, and then they get closer and closer as they go up. All right. Smiley face. Getting closer and closer. as they get to the middle. All right, we're going to do this on all of these big areas. So you can pause the video, or you can fast forward, or whatever it takes. Once we get all this done, then we're going to do the ones in the middle. Well, actually, we're going to stop there so you won't get as confused. All right, so go ahead and start all of your rainbow and smiley faces in the middle. And do the rainbows up. Okay, and the smiley faces to meet it. Smiley faces below. I like this guy. He's kind of almost squarish looking. He's going to be fun. And these are all going to be rainbow down here. And then I have these on the side, which are going to fall off. Okay. All right, I have all of those done. You might still be working. If you are, press pause, get this much done. You're doing it with pencil, you have the freedom to erase. When you do it with marker like I am, you're stuck with what you have and you just have to make it work. Okay, I'm going to start with explaining that there's going to be a white line that goes through all of these in the middle. This is all the white lines going through the middle. Then it's going to be the light ones next to it and the darkest ones next to your pencil line. All right. What does that mean? Oh, and the other thing you need to notice is there's two contrasting colors. All right. The more alike your colors are, the less of that kind of illusion that's going to happen. It'll still work. It'll still be cool. But let's start with contrasting colors. And complementary colors are contrasting colors. All right. So when you have complementary colors, these are colors that are opposite on the color wheel. Okay. When you look at the color wheel, you have the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and all those wonderful ones in between. We're just going to focus on these. Red is opposite of green, so they are complementary. So I'm going to make my first wormy red and green. Okay. My next one will be blue and orange, my next one will be yellow and purple, and then I repeat, repeat, repeat. So complementary, opposite, they look good next to each other, but they don't like to mix very well. When you mix them, you create different browns and grays, that's a whole nother unit. So right now, complementary colors. My first wormy, I said we were going to use red and green. And the middle is white, so we're not going to touch the white. I like starting with my darkest color, then going with the medium one or the light one, and then I don't touch the white line down the middle. So I'm going to start with just one color. So I'm going to start with my reds. And on the edges, now with all coloring up these shapes, you want to follow the curved line. I'm not going to color a straight line when it's curved like a rainbow or a smiley face. I have to color like it's a rainbow, color in that rainbow area. What does that mean? That means I'm going to kind of curve it. On the sides. Curve it on the sides. And I'm starting in a nice big area so you can see it pretty easy. Okay. That's my dark. Next to my dark, I'm going to do a light color. So when I switch to a colored pencil, even though it's basically red, because it does not saturate the paper as much, it looks lighter. Some of that white paper is coming through, making it almost pink-like. And remember I said you got to leave white in the middle? Leave the white in the middle. All right. Skip one. Or if you get confused and you can't skip one, switch colors. All right. So the next one's going to be green. So I'm going to do green. And I'm going to make sure my dark color is the same, almost width as my red dark color, my green dark color. Probably do a little bit more on that side. Okay. And then my medium. And I want to kind of leave almost the same amount of white. That's my highlight. And I'm going to darken this up a little bit because my camera doesn't like showing the lighter stuff. There you go. Okay, and again, leaving it white. Switch colors and back to my red. So I have the dark on the outside, about a third of the way towards the middle. My medium. Oh, I pulled that one a little bit too much, and since I can't erase, I'm just going to add or make my white just a little bit smaller just so I can make sure they're equaled up a little bit more. Again, don't draw this way. This would be a no-no. Always draw in the direction that your shape is going. Okay. So as you can tell, it's already looking three-dimensional. It looks like he's wearing a nice little winter hat. Okay, done with my red. Onto my green. Do my medium. Or this is my light. And leave the white. And then I have just a smidge for, I'm hardly doing any of it there. Most of it's going to be shadowed in, very little highlight. Get out of there. Orange, it's not your turn. All right, so there's the top part. Well, I started with my red here, which means I need to do green in this middle area. Now, here's something to notice. I have two curves. So I'm going to start the bottom ones this way and the top ones that way. See how it's kind of making a V? And bring my V in a little bit closer. A little bit closer until they touch. Okay, so I actually colored it like a V. Same thing here. I'm going to start coloring the top towards the middle, the bottom towards the middle. Can't really make it like a V, but you can imagine it that way. and keep going until they bump into each other. So it's almost going to make a straight line in the middle here. We just don't want it to look like it has a straight, that you're coloring in a straight line. It should still look curved. Whether it's curving down, straightening out in the middle, and then curving up. Okay. That one's going to be your trickiest one. Okay. Now, back to the red. We're doing the dark on the outside, curving it. Now my curves are smiley faces. So, making sure I do it like a little smiley face. Grab my medium or my pencil to make it a lighter value, And I personally don't like it to be too perfect of a square. I kind of like it rubbing there. You can even make it stretch a little bit more right along these edges, just barely touching it. Barely touching. And the green, again, the green area, to make it look like those pencil lines, or like, again, I keep saying marker, that it's going in a little bit, like almost like a worm segment or a caterpillar segment. So you can play around with that. All right, we have a couple more to go, but I think you have the pattern. Everything's confusing till you figure out the pattern, and art has a lot of pattern in it. At least a lot of my projects do. All right, so dark on the outside, lighter on the inside. Touch on the top and the bottom a little bit if you want. You don't have to. And switch colors. There's the top, or sorry, the dark. Doing the light. Switch colors. Dark. Light. Top and bottom. Switch colors. Dark. Light. And it's okay if your little white window gets smaller and smaller, because these little sections are smaller and smaller, so it's going to reflect less light. Dark. Light. And this one's going to have almost no white reflection in it. And this one's probably going to just be dark and light. There's the dark. There's the light. There's the dark. And the light. And keep going. Dark, light, dark, light. All right. So we've practiced this one together. It's going to work with the others. Now, you can continue with the same color all the way, or you can switch to a different set of complementary colors, considering your bulge is a completely different bulge of it. Our next set of complementary colors. Let's bring out our color wheel. So we've covered the red and the green. We can do the blue and the orange next. Same idea. This one is going to be review, so I'm not going to spend as much time on it with you. And it does not matter which ones that you start with. Forgive me, I draw best when I turn my paper a little bit, especially when I'm dealing with small little things. Dark on the outside. Lighter on the inside. And leave the middle white. That is your highlight. It gets darker as it starts curving around and gets away from the shining light. Switching colors. Dark. Light. And the white. Switching colors. Dark. Light. A little bit of the white. Switching colors. So on and so forth. And remember, in this middle area, the dark is going to be more like your V. It's going to little by little close as it gets towards the middle. V, V, smaller V's till it meets in the middle. Go ahead and go with going towards the middle, following my little curve, following the little curve, and then it can straighten out and connect in the middle. And that is your review. So once again, your goal is to use 2 values in each section and put it next to a contrasting color. It does not have to be complementary, although complementaries are very contrasting. Purple and green are not, but notice this green is a lighter green with the darker purple. The browns and the oranges are very similar, so you don't see the contrast as much in this one right here. But there's a complementary color. See how vivid the purple is from the yellow? Red is next to orange, so blue and red and blue and orange, even though it's blue and orange that are complementary, they still look good next to each other. And the same with the green. All right. Darks and lights. Okay, you may get going on the colored ones. If you were wondering how to do it with just a pencil, now is your time to watch. It's a lot easier with the different colors. So with my pencil, I'm going to be working on, let's just use this big one right here. And again, dark on the outside. So I'm going to push as hard as I can, but again, curve my line to match the curves in the little wormy guy. All right, nice and dark. Same as the other side. I want to push it as dark as I did that one on this side. Now, I can't change colors, but I can change how hard or light I'm pushing on my pencil. I'm going to go with a light touch now. And I can already tell that my camera is not going to like this. Because if this is my darker line, it's going to be difficult on the lighter. Okay. And there's my two values. You can leave it white, or on this one, I'm going to use a finger to ever so lightly go on it, and then come back with the eraser just right in the middle, because I want it to blend a little bit. I want it to blend in a little bit more between the dark and the lights. And you skip one and you go back to the extra dark, medium in this case, a little zhuzh, and bring back the highlight. So that's how you do those stripes. Now you have to figure out how to change the pressure that you're pushing on your pencil to look differently than these darks. So I'm going to start with this medium color here as being my dark. Medium color being my dark over here. And I'm not going to do any others. I'm going to use my tissue and let it do the medium and the light. And again, don't forget, bring back that white square in the middle. Kind of hard to see. Let's see if I can get this pulling up a little bit more. Right there. Right there. All right, same thing. I'm going with this medium on the one side. And that's my puppy dog saying she is done with these videos. Right. Okay, so I need to do the lighter ones here. So again, the medium. Forgive my puppy dog. And the medium on this side. Let me check. Can you see that at all? No. So let me make my medium a little bit darker. Yeah, now you can see a little bit. My medium a little darker. Trying not to make it as dark as that. And using only my finger smear. And my eraser. To give a darn camera is going to make me go a lot darker on my values here than I'm comfortable with. But challenge myself, I can do this. So again, we darkened it. Went after it with the blender, if you have a blender, or the tissue if you don't. Any luck seeing that any better? A little bit. Trust me, there's three values there. and light. There you go. You can almost see it. Almost see it right there. To make a dark stripe and a lighter stripe. And then when you come in with the super dark, followed by the medium, super dark, followed by the medium. Give it a little bit of a rub. Bring back the highlight. And your wormy is starting to come to life. Just by using a pencil. I'm not going to joke with you, this one's a lot harder than if you had colors, but as you can see, you can do it. I'm going to skip every other one. And some kids, they love it. They just, hey, give me just a pencil. I want to do everything with the pencil. I'm not good with color. And I understand that, and I respect that. Right, and you can even leave the ones in between white. According to my camera here, I won't, because I believe in the value in the shadowing. But have fun creating the wormies. When you're done with those, then repeat it on these other ones on the inside. The same techniques that you did. As you're going along to create your nice, squishy, wiggly little wormies all the way around. Okay, I get it. Let the kids have fun doing it themselves and take care of your needs. All right, so I hope you have fun. Enjoy creating your wormies. And stay tuned for more lessons. Bye.